So finally, social security benefits are changing for millions and millions of Americans, and the biggest question is that why these benefits are changing and how these changes are going to impact millions and millions of seniors who receive these benefits. Look at this. Social Security update is here as new plan to benefit recipients proposed in Congress, and this is important because millions of Americans who are already struggling, and we are talking about seniors who receive Social Security, they are asking only one question right now, that when are we going to receive an increase in our benefits? And we have some very important answers to give you in this video, so make sure you stay with us till the end. I'm gonna give you each and every detail, but all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please smash the like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's start the video. So let's start the video with the increase in Social Security benefits, and you must be wondering that why an increase and there is no news about it. Well, there are some very important developments that you need to know before we move towards this new bill that will give relief to millions of Americans. So let's start with the increase, as I mentioned earlier. Well, when it comes to the increase in Social Security benefits, some of the lawmakers are finally pushing this administration to give some sort of relief to millions and millions of Americans. And recently, something surprising happened. At Bill Cassidy and Senator Kennedy both presented a new legislation that will increase the Social Security as well as SSI and SSDI benefits. You heard it absolutely right, coming from the Republican side this time. We talked about Democratic leaders such as John Larson, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Brown, Sherrod Brown, Melanie Stansbury. They all presented their own bills, but now a new bill came from Bill Cassidy and Kennedy. This is a huge moment for millions and millions of Americans, because you need to understand that right now Republican holds the Congress. President Donald J. Trump is from the Republican Party. So anything that comes from the Republican side that is designed to benefit Americans in any way, it's a good sign for Americans. Do you know recently Josh Hawley introduced the stimulus tariff rebate checks legislation, which shocked everyone, and now this legislation will be debated and then the Congress will have a vote on it. Then it will go to President Donald J. Trump's desk and then he will sign on it if he wants to. But remember that he is the one, means President Donald J. Trump is the one who himself announced the possibility of these new stimulus checks for low and middle income Americans. And a number of our subscribers are asking that our Social Security, SSI and SSDI recipients are eligible for this $600. The answer is simple: yes. Under this new legislation, you are eligible for this $600 for an individual and $1,200 for a couple if President Donald J. Trump signs on it and if Congress approves it. Going back towards this very important proposal from Bill Cassidy and Kennedy, well, they both introduced this bill that is recommending this administration to increase Social Security benefits, and the reason is simple, because according to them, benefits are not parallel to the current inflation. And the biggest problem that seniors are facing right now is the metric that measures the COLA. Right now, the metric that measures the COLA that increases the benefits every single year is CPIW, which is outdated according to a number of lawmakers, analysts, and experts. Now, this should be replaced with CPIE, but first you need to understand that what's the difference between CPIW and CPIE, so you can understand that how your benefits can be increased significantly if this administration changes this COLA metric from CPIW to CPIE. Well, what CPIW does, that CPI takes into the account the inflation number on paper. For example, last year on paper the inflation was only 2.5%, so the COLA increase is 2.5% this year in 2025. But what CPI would do differently, that CPI will analyze the senior's spending, means how much a senior spends on his or her rent, how much the senior spends on grocery, how much senior spends on utilities, how much senior spends on prescriptions, and then this metric will decide the new COLA number, which according to a number of analysts and experts would be much higher than this 2.5% that millions of seniors received this year. And according to a number of analysts and experts, they are estimating this increase to be around $500 to $700 in a year. You heard it absolutely right. That translates to around $80 to $90 a month, which is great for millions and millions of seniors, because $80 is indeed a lifeline for millions of Americans. But when you actually times it with 12, it goes beyond that. $960 a year is indeed a huge amount. Even $700 is a huge amount. But Bernie Sanders' proposal calling for $2,400 yearly increase makes more sense. Well, according to him, the senior benefits are not parallel to the current inflation, and his Social Security Expansion Act is calling for $200 fixed monthly increase to all Social Security recipients across the board, as well as for SSI and SSDI recipients. That translates to $2,400 a year. Now the biggest question is that how this increase will benefit the seniors. Well, it will benefit the seniors because all they need right now is an increase in their benefits. But going back towards that very important update about the increase in benefits, and we were talking about the proposal from Bill Cassidy and Kennedy, which is calling for increase in benefits. This proposal should also be taken into consideration from the Congress, because this is a great proposal. But there's another one. Look at this. Social Security update, new plan to benefit recipients proposed in Congress. When it comes to the details, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has announced new legislation aimed at safeguarding Social Security, responding to recent service cuts and strained resources that have affected seniors across the state. So this proposal is known as Hands-Off Social Security Act. Means, according to a number of Democrats, that President Donald J. Trump and his administration, they are going to privatize Social Security. So if this act becomes law, they will not be able to privatize Social Security and Medicare. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this whole situation, and do you support an increase in your benefits? And if you do, then how much of an increase you would like to see every single month in your benefits? It should be $200, $300, $400, or $500. There are various of proposals that can actually make it a reality. So let me know in the comments below, what are your point of views about these very, very important proposals and plans. And one more thing that I would like to tell you before I wrap up this video, that if you receive Social Security, SSI and SSDI, then we are going to upload a series which will allow you to get federal and state benefits that you don't even know about. And if you are a senior, then this series is important for you, it's crucial for you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon. And there's a book that I've written which will allow you to boost your Social Security, SSI and SSDI. If you would like to know about it, then click the link in the video's description and you can get the copy of that book. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.